Ooh, what's up, everyone? My name is OMG WTF LOL TEW BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling versus the WWE, the series where we take the weekly shows, weekly events that the WWE runs, and book them into Total Extreme Wrestling and see how well WWE does against TEW, or if TEW will be the one company that brings the WWE down to its knees. We are booking the post Backlash Tuesday night Smackdown, or Smackdown Live, call it what you like. We are heading right into the Money in the Bank pay-per-view with more qualifying matches here tonight. In fact, we got 3 of them. Just in case some of you guys didn't watch 205 Live, why would you not? I mentioned on Monday Night Raw that we had a little bit of a dilemma here with the Money in the Bank, or I guess the Money in the Bank ladder matches this year are going to be 8 men and 8 women. Unfortunately, there is no 8-person singles match option in Total Extreme Wrestling, so I said that we were going to have to cut 2 people, and it would probably be the 2 most least popular, or the 2 least popular superstars that didn't win. And while that is still, what we're going to do, it's kind of changing here. It's going to be kind of like the 2 least popular superstars from Raw and SmackDown. That way SmackDown and Raw still have, 3 people in there to represent their brand. So say like Ty Dillinger and Kurt Hawkins qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder matches. Unfortunately, they're probably not going to make it in there, and I'll probably pit them against each other on the pre-show. So nothing too serious, but figured I'd just mention to you guys, that way we can avoid any questions in the future as to what we're going to do there. So let's go ahead and run this episode of Tuesday Night Smackdown. I always want to say Friday Night Smackdown. I'm so used to that. We are being held in the Royal Farms Arena in front of 7,514 people. Our cold open, or opening package for the night, I guess, gets a 52 D+, as we hype up the fact that we will see Jeff Hardy take on The Miz, Charlotte take on Peyton Royce, and Daniel Bryan take on Rusev, all in Money in the Bank qualifying matches here. What is this, Rusev? Yeah. This is kind of during the page opening angle as well, so there's that. Also, if you didn't watch 205 Live, we now have the numbers and grades up, so that's a plus. Always a plus. Paige's opening angle, where she hypes up the night. She also hypes up Backlash and Money in the Bank. Gets a solid C rating here with a 65. And she, of course, hypes up, Daniel Bryan and Carmella and Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles, getting her normal pop of the night. So good on Paige there. Good on Paige. She lost some heat for the Nakamura Styles feud, though, so not good on Paige. Then we get a look back at the Miz's cash-in, Money in the Bank win and cash-in years ago over Randy Orton, which got a 62 solid C. That leads to our first Money in the Bank qualifier match, which gets a 68 C+. Is that a 68? No, that's a 66, excuse me. 66 C+ rating here. Decent matchup. The Miz goes over Jeff Hardy in 19 minutes, 47 seconds with the fast roll-up. Back and forth action. Miz is kind of becoming more of a workhorse than he ever was. He was kind of always known as like the cowardly heel in the past, but it seems like after his match with Seth Rollins and after, this recent run with the Intercontinental Championship, he's becoming more known as the workhorse, where he's getting to show more of his in-ring ability and less of, the cowardness. And it showed in this match with Jeff Hardy, as they went almost 20 minutes here. And it's back and forth action. Like, it was, wasn't Miz cheating his way out of anything. He was fighting Jeff just as Jeff was fighting him. So it was back and forth, great counters. Miz has really improved. If anybody should win like the most improved wrestler of the year, it has to be the Miz. I mean, he has put all his doubters to rest. Miz is freaking amazing. I love the Miz, which is just like a lot of people. I used to hate the Miz. I mean, guaranteed I've been a big fan of the Miz for a while now, but back like I'd say maybe when he first debuted all the way to his ECW run with John Morrison, I couldn't stand the guy. It wasn't really until he got drafted over to Monday Night Raw and became the United States champion and became the Money in the Bank and all that stuff that I really became a fan of his. And ever since then, he's just it's been a wonder to watch him grow from, being kind of mediocre and just a mid Carter at best, to now being the top heel in the industry, I'd argue. So good on the Miz. Sorry for a little rant there. I turned into Michael Cole circa 2011 or whatever, just fanboying over the Miz. Miz beats Jeff Hardy. He is in the Money in the Bank ladder match. This match got the crowd hot. Jeff Hardy had an in-ring performance of a 68, outperforming the Miz, which surprises me. Miz had an in-ring performance of a 59, so there you have that. Unfortunately, this does not move along the Money in the Bank ladder match. Jeff Hardy, who I probably should have made a major player in this, but I didn't want to cancel the United States title feud because who knows, they could always run Orton and Jeff again. I made him just a minor player, hoping that maybe it would push it along. I had a feeling it wouldn't, but what can you do? So it doesn't move it along, but I kind of settled that with a main event with Rusev and Bryan, because, Bryan and Cass seems like it's still going to be a thing. So I had Aiden English added onto there as well. So hopefully there, that will move it along. So something will progress that feud at least tonight. Nothing to talk about improvement-wise. 57 C- for the backstage segment between the Bar, as Sheamus eats Lucky Charms as he's stressed from his loss last week to Xavier Woods. Cesaro talks about how he believes that he could beat Xavier Woods tonight, and then Cesaro pretty much tells him to do it. And it's just a setup for an upcoming match later on tonight between Cesaro and Woods. Gained heat for the feud, though, between the New Day and the Bar. 57 C- for that. We then jump to a 52 D+, and we keep to tradition, as we just love to do, and accidentally put somebody on air when they weren't supposed to be on air. So, as our truth would say, that's my bad. My bad. 52 D+, as we get more hype for, Bryan versus Rusev and Peyton Royce versus Charlotte Flair. That'll take place later on tonight. Should probably cancel Rusev's turn, because it doesn't look like they're ever going to do it. And by the time they do it, it's probably going to be rated horribly. 20 E- rating here for the Sanity hype package, as Eric Young, Killian Dane, and Alexander Wolf they're coming to SmackDown pretty much. Then we get a 69 C+ rating, as we get a look back at the controversial ending from Backlash between Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles, where they both kicked each other in the nuts. This leads... Did I press the button? Nope. This leads to a backstage segment between Renee Young and Shinsuke Nakamura, as Renee Young... I don't even remember what she was there for, to be honest, but she's there, I guess she's asking Nakamura, she puts over the fact that Nakamura is not able to compete and he wasn't cleared, so maybe that's why she was there. But this is all pretty much, putting over the fact that Nakamura is just egging on the crowd, doing the whole... I can't speak English or anything like that, and said AJ Styles is nuts, and then he goes, but I'm nuts too, which that was funny, how he pauses when he says AJ Styles nuts, but I'm nuts too. So Nakamura's got great timing, to be completely honest here. It's just a basic promo here, as he puts over the fact that he is not done with AJ Styles. So 66 C+ for the King of Strong style, or the King of Dong style, who knows. 43 solid D rating here, as we get a look back at the Carmella versus Charlotte match from Backlash. That, of course, Carmella won. And that also leads to a backstage segment for Carmella, which gets a 53 C-. Pretty good for Carmella, to be completely honest. She brags about beating Charlotte Flair, kind of annoyingly, but I guess that's her gimmick. Doing the whole, I beat Charlotte Flair, I beat Charlotte Flair. It was just very annoying. She then, talks about how she's going to have a royal celebration, and no, not here in the Royal Farms Arena. I said that, not Carmella. I just want to put that over. But she doesn't want to do it in front of Baltimore, but in fact, she's going to travel all the way to England and have her royal celebration and all that. So, there you go, Carmella. We then jump to a 47 solid D, as similar to Monday Night Raw, where they had those weird little pre-packaged promos where random superstars would put over how they won in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Same goes with Ty Dillinger and Naomi here, as both superstars express their desires to be in the respective Money in the Bank ladder matches. We then jump to the 48D+. This is a pre-promo before the match with Charlotte Flair and Peyton Royce as Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, the Iconics, poke fun at Charlotte's loss from Backlash and this face she, I guess, made. And Peyton tries to make it but fails, and yeah. More kind of cringy segments for the Iconics. What I kind of noticed in this here is Billie Kay is actually kind of fitting in the role. Like, she plays her role pretty good, whereas Peyton Royce just kind of seems like a misfit for the role, I feel. Nonetheless, this leads into our Women's Money in the Bank ladder match qualifier here, which does a 49D+ rating here. Oh, good God, that's not good. Well, I guess it doesn't matter all that much, but... Oh, no, that's a 49D+, by the way, not a 48. Subpar Wrestling and Little Heat, so Peyton Royce can go, at least, in the ring. Charlotte Flair goes over Peyton Royce in 12 minutes, 32 seconds with the figure 8 leg lock submission hold. We also have Billie Kay, attack Charlotte in this match and, provide her little distractions here and there. But it was not enough for the Iconic duo, as Charlotte Flair is going to join Ember Moon in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Peyton Royce was unfortunately really off her game. Billie Kay doing some good work ringside, despite the fact that her and Peyton Royce are an awkward pairing as managers, which here comes our first dilemma here with the WWE, because even though we have seen awkward match pairings like between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, this is the first manager awkward pairing that we're seeing that we're going to have to roll with nonetheless, because that's what they're doing, so that's what we gotta do. So, unfortunate for the Iconics, but that's how it works, even though it's not true. Charlotte Flair with a 56 in-ring performance, so of course she carried Peyton Royce, who had a 33 in-ring performance, but I guess there's room for improvement. Yeah, Peyton Royce says she's better off without Billie Kay as her manager. I'm sorry, but unless WWE says the same thing, I don't think that's happening. We get a look back at the Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass feud from or match from the Backlash pay-per-view. 58C- for that. We then get an interview with Dasha Fuentes with Daniel Bryan, who, cuts his promo on Big Cass and, how Big Cass beat him down after the match and how, it was probably unfinished business, but he would like to put over, the reason why Big Cass attacked me is because I made him tap out. So, good for him. Good comeback, I guess. He, of course, puts over the Money in the Bank ladder match in his qualifying match against Rusev. And that's that. 56C- for that. We then get hype for the Cesaro versus Xavier Woods match, which is next, which gets a 52D+. Did I press the button? I did not. Before we can get to the match, we have more of those random Money in the Bank prepackaged promos. Solid 44D for this one, as we get one from Shelton Benjamin and Asuka. And then we go to our matchup between Woods and Cesaro. Gets a 59 solid C rating here. Decent matchup. Cesaro goes over Xavier Woods in 10 minutes 3 seconds with the neutralizer. He actually hit an uppercut while Xavier Woods dove at him. A lot of interference in here, as we had, Cesaro get distracted by Kingston and Big E, which is mostly, interactions with Sheamus, not really Cesaro. And Sheamus, of course, did distract Xavier Woods throughout the match. So Kofi Kingston did some good work ringside. Ooh, that's 2 strikes already. First we had Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, and now Cesaro and Sheamus as a managerial duty are a very poor combination and do not click at all. So guaranteed it's not as bad as the Iconics, because they kind of rely off each other, but who knows? I mean, usually Sheamus is out there with Cesaro, so that's not good. Xavier Woods with a 56 in-ring performance, actually outperforming Cesaro with a 54, so good on Xavier. 59 solid C for the match, as Cesaro also improves in technical and performance, so not too shabby. We then go backstage to Renee Young, who is interviewing AJ Styles. Styles, who also cannot compete tonight. He was not medically cleared. He, talks about how he stooped to Nakamura's level, but that's how it has to be sometimes to, keep this championship. And more generic promo, putting over the fact that, if Nakamura says we're not done, then we're not done. So there you have it. 64 solid C for the interview segment here. All right, come on. Oh boy, this does good. Uh, Becky Lynch is shown making her way down to ringside, as is Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, as we get hype up for their upcoming match, which is next. E28, good God. Before that, though, we get a quick little, I guess, pre-promo, I don't know, video package thing here for the Bludgeon Brothers, which gets a 51D+. We get a lot of destroyed, mangled up toys shown. It looked like we had the New Day. We had the Bar, who I have, chose to highlight in here. We had we had the New Day, and we had Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. That's what I meant to say, who are highlighted here. The Bar was also in there, but I didn't want to highlight him because I didn't want to move along the New Day Bar storyline because of that. And there was probably some other tag teams thrown in there as well. Harbor and Rowan just put over that, they have new toys and they won competition pretty much is where they're going with this. 51D+ for that. We then jump to a 41 solid D as Rose and Deville are ready for the upcoming match against Becky Lynch. It's not a Money in the Bank qualifier, it's just a match. Paige catches them before they go out, and she pretty much lets them know that Sonya Deville is barred from ringside and she can't be there. So I'm not sure if there's a feud being formed here, but I might have to create one. The match itself between Becky Lynch and Mandy Rose gets a 39D- rating here in a terrible matchup. Mandy Rose goes over Becky Lynch in 5 minutes 47 seconds with a fast roll-up. So Mandy Rose gets the shock victory over Becky Lynch. And again, not sure if I should create a feud here between the two. Also, I wasn't sure if I should have highlighted Mandy Rose's entrance or not because it seemed like it was a special thing. Obviously, I opted not to. But who knows? Maybe I should have. We did fill up our time perfectly. We didn't need a commercial break this week, so it's not like we needed it. Did cool the crowd, which that's fine. Becky Lynch had an in-ring performance of a 44. Mandy Rose with a 26. Then we get a look back at Daniel Bryan's Money in the Bank title win, and then his cash in on the Big Show a couple years back, which gets a 73B-. And then we get hype up for next week's Smackdown, 43 solid D, as the New Day will take on the Bar in a tag team Money in the Bank qualifier, and I guess whichever team wins gets to choose which member will represent them. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say the New Day is going to win, and it'll probably be Big E. I think there's been rumors about that. The Royal Celebration was hyped, and then the debut of Andrade Cien Almas next week as well. So next week's a big week as we emanate from England. Before we get to our main event of the night, Aiden English has to come out and introduce Rusev because it's Rusev Day. Solid 60 for Aiden English. The main event itself gets a 69C+. I thought this would do better, to be completely honest. 69C+ for the main event, though. Decent matchup. Rusev gets the surprise, clean as the whistle victory. From what I hear, a lot of people are actually upset about this, but whatever, it happens. They're telling a good story here of Bryan, of his return, maybe being a little ring rusty, kind of going all in like he used to, and it's taking effect on his body. So I'm digging the story they're telling here, but a lot of people upset because it was a clean as a whistle victory with Daniel Bryan getting pinned with no interference or no nothing happening here. And it was with the jumping sidekick as well. Look at that. The game got it right. 13 minutes, 5 seconds later, Rusev beats Daniel Bryan. Rusev was visibly tired towards the end, so that's something we might have to look at for Rusev here, is possibly checking out his stamina, because Rusev can go. and he's always really been able to go. But then again, I don't know. I guess maybe popularity affects this stuff as well, because sometimes I go in there and I check the ratings and I'm like, no, I agree with this. So whatever. Aiden English did some good work ringside. Deserved better announcing. Got the crowd hotter. Brian with an in-ring performance of an 81. Rusev with a 53, and the men's Money in the Bank ladder match does get a advancement as well. No worker improvements though. And then we end off the night to just see Daniel Bryan sulking and disappointed after his loss, which gets a 76 B minus. The show itself gets a solid 63 C here. Not enough storylines being told, and it lost us popularity in 23 regions. So Monday Night Raw, still the only show to gain us popularity, beating SmackDown. Here I thought maybe if Raw was doing good, SmackDown would do good as well, but I guess not a strong show to follow up. Nonetheless, though, we what do we got right now? We've got Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, The Miz, and Rusev all in the male's Money in the Bank ladder match. So I can't see those four being taken out of the ladder match. So I guess there's two more that can potentially be added to it. And of course, there are four more that can be added to it in real life, but those four aren't going to count. But yeah, as of right now, we're pretty much caught up. I'm caught up at least. These are all pre-recorded. I've been recording Raw, SmackDown, and 205 Live because I have had nothing else to do, and I'm gonna upload them as I is. But I'll be able to record Monday Night Raw and 205 Live and SmackDown as they're aired on WWE Network and on TV and all that. And we're pretty much caught up to the WWE now. And I can put more focus onto Invasion now as well, which I know a lot of you guys are excited about. I kind of wanted to catch up with the WWE before I focused on Invasion. The ideas are running, and I should have Nitro out here pretty shortly. And we'll be moving in here soon to WrestleMania. As quick as you guys, it's going to be happening here pretty soon. It's going to happen out of nowhere, watch. And then it'll be post-Invasion. A lot of you are probably worried about if I was going to continue on with the save or not. We are going to be moving on. I don't know how long the series will go on, but I do have plans for at least maybe another WrestleMania at least. So we'll see where we go from there. I don't know how long this is going to take, so I'm just going to start doing my outro now. My name's been OMG WTF LOL to WBRB. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, don't forget to share this video with your friends, your Facebook, your friends, your Facebook, and your Twitter to help the channel grow. It's always greatly appreciated. And if you have a buddy out there you think will enjoy the content, don't forget to show them the content as well, or video as well, and maybe help me get me a new member to the subscription area, or whatever you want to call that. I dropped the whole nerds and geeks phrase, so I'm not really calling them that anymore, but welcome to the family, I guess, It's a mafia phrase here. With that being said, though, I've also got some buddies here, so, you show yourself a buddy, and maybe I show you one of my buddies. I've got them down in the description below. You can always check them out. I got a buddy, Raging Yoshi. He's doing a current Let's Play of one of the Final Fantasy. Excuse me, I'm horrible with the Greek numbers, so I'm not exactly sure which one it is off the top of my head. Persona 5, which I highly recommend checking out. I got a buddy, Senor Conqueso, who's doing reviews of, those Blue Aprons versus, more of those other food delivery services. If you aren't sure what Blue Apron is, it's, one of those popular commercials you see a lot of people use. I've got my buddy Zach, who's always active on Twitch. And, like I said, there's a lot more of other people down there. You can always check them out. Before we end this video, though, we got one major thing that I'm glad we got to see. The WWE has officially fallen down to a cult-sized company. Now, this is actually something that usually happens in these saves, nonetheless. But oh boy, cult-sized company for us now. Shocked phase, 6-month cooling down period. There you have it. 205 Live got a .61. SmackDown got a 20.34. There you have that. So we are now a cult company. Good God. Oh, Tony Nese has morale issue, probably because of his, look at his botched turn. Look at it. Too angry at botched turns. Here you go, Tony. Enjoy your $20,000 bonus. Sorry for your botched turn, but it's not my fault. It's WWE's fault. Have a good day, guys.